Hello again, Class 5-1 Orange Group. Mr. Waterman here with the second part of our double block lesson in Period 2 on Wednesday, April 14th, 2021. I hope everyone had a great time completing the last activity from Period 1, which was the question and answer session with Mr. Waterman. All right, so we're going to move on to the next topic of the day. And I'm going to do lessons like this for the next couple of days until you all come back into school next week. The reason I'm doing this is because, one, we don't have a lot of time to talk about topics like this when you are back in school. The second reason is I like to talk about life's lessons which apply to all of us, not just here in school, but it applies to us outside of school in our daily lives. Okay? Now, just to give you some idea, the first story we are going to be reading in the textbook when you come back, it deals with a dog, and it deals with her buddy, who is a police officer. And what their job is to go around to different schools and talk to the students about safety. And I thought this is a good topic for me to talk about with my students because, well, everyone knows what's been happening around the world for over a year now. We have been dealing with the pandemic, the coronavirus pandemic, to be exact. Okay? And in talking about coronavirus, we need to use that word safety. The students in grades 4, 5, and 6 are coming back to school next week. The students in grades 1, 2, and 3 have already been coming back to school. So we're going to have a lot of students in our school next week. Tokyo Korean School may seem like a very big school, but we have a lot of students. When you put all of those students, all of those elementary school students into the same building, well, we have to do whatever we can to work together to try and keep a safe environment, a safe place. What are some ways that we can do that? Let's think about this. I'm going to be working off of page number 4 today in my classroom notebook. And I'm going to title it Safety During the Pandemic. Safety during the pandemic at Tokyo Korean School. Okay, so what you can do here, you can do a few things. For talking about ways that we can be safe, I like to make a list. And when I make a list, I have to number my list. I'm going to start at number 1. Let's think about this. What's one of the first things you should do when you wake up in the morning before you go to school to make sure that it is safe for you to be going to school? Because let's say you wake up and you feel a little bit warm. What should mom or dad do? They should check your temperature, right? Check your temperature when you wake up to go to school. Right? Now, you can go to school if your temperature is below 37.5 degrees Celsius, right? But if your temperature is any higher than that, do you think you should really go to school or get on a train, a crowded train and go to school, get on a crowded bus and go to school, or walk to school, right? So you want to check your temperature before you leave your house to go to school, right? Now, thinking about some of the other ways that you can be safe, right? I'm going to write number 2. When you get to school, when you walk into the school building, what's the first thing you should do at the door? Many of you already know this, right? So when you get to school, have the nurse or a teacher check your temperature again, because you can't be too safe. These are the times that we live in now. We check our temperature several times a day. Usually if we are outside and going into different buildings like a department store, a supermarket, a shop, we have to check our temperature, and we also have to do what? I know many of you have seen these everywhere over the last year, right? I'm doing it right now, even though I'm in my classroom, and I'm the only one in my classroom. This is probably very important. I'm going to leave it there at number 3. I want you to tell me what I just did, okay? Many of you who had me as a teacher last year, you know that you had to line up outside of my classroom, and the first thing that I did before you came in was to squeeze some of this into your hands and have you do this. Tell me, what are some other ways that we can stay safe while we're at school? Think about it. You're going to be able to eat lunch now when you come to school with your friends. What should or shouldn't you do during lunchtime? What about when you have PE class together? What should or shouldn't you do while you're at class? When you're in the classroom, is it okay to not have this on? When you're in class with the other students, is it okay to have this like this? When you're in the classroom, is this okay? How about this? And talking with your teacher and the other students, is that okay? How about after eating, do you put this away and not use it? Or is it okay to just do this and not put this on? Think about it. Think of all the ways that we can be safe together here at Tokyo Korean School, because all grades 1 through 6, will be back at school together at some point next week. It's going to be a lot of us in a small space that we have to share. We have to do the best that we can to keep ourselves safe, to keep each other safe. Think about when you go to the bathroom. What's very important. Think about all of these things. Write them down here on your notebook paper. Make a list. How many things should you have on your list? You can have as many things as you can think of on your list. Make sure when you're writing your list, You give me complete sentences that start with capital letters and end with full stops. I look forward to seeing what you come up with. If it helps you to draw a picture to help explain your sentence, please go ahead and do that. I look forward to seeing what you all come up with. If you have any questions, feel free to email me at any time. Take care, stay safe, and be well. And remember, safety first. See you all very soon. Have a great day studying. Bye-bye for now.